Hello everybody. We're gonna be doing some just a bit of drawing tonight. Nothing too special, you know. Hello Q. Hello. I hope everyone's doing the good, you know. I know how it is sometimes, but let's hope for the best, right? Yeah. Let me just get my windows all set up. Is doing things. Okay, let me move some shit around. You're full of cheese? What? Also, hello Scratcher. Hello. Let me just yeah, I need to move. Which window is it? Where am I looking? This is the one I want. This is the thing I need. Deep in my Kokoro. That might be too small. That might be too big. We'll do that. We'll do this. I can probably work with that. That way I can still see if YouTube fucks up or not, and I can see chat. Okay, okay. Did I get the border of lands? Yeah. I'm just taking a break from that game, you know. But I still enjoy playing it. Like that's just that's still just an enjoyable game, Scratcher. Like there are of course like issues with it, but that's like it's like half my fault for picking the worst character. That's just me though. I still have fun playing it. I'll probably do like a ultimate Vault Hunter mode thingy at some point. I'm just I occasionally boot up the game to farm some gear, but I'm having some awful luck. I'm sitting there for like an hour and don't get the thing that I want, and I'm like, come on, just come on, let me have it. Also, is the audio good? Is thing loud? Am I too quiet? I don't know. Ah, Messi. Hello. Starting a stream early. Man, remember when this used to be the normal time that I streamed? Maybe I should go back to that. Maybe it would be better this way. Music's a bit loud. There we go. We can. That's an easy adjustment. Hello, chap. Hope everything's okay with you guys. So Boomer Core. Look, I woke up several hours ago. I only got like 6 hours of sleep, which like, I don't know what happened. I straight up don't know what happened. Yes, I'm trying to fix my sleep schedule a little bit, but I'm like, how come I can't go back to sleep? Oh well. That's fine. Maybe one day we'll go back to this being the normal streaming time. Maybe one day. Read a VN for a few hours, had fun. Man, that's my day-to-day though. Though I'm having a lot of fun recording Rain Check, which I think just went live. Like, I think that was the last thing uploaded to the to my main channel. What am I drawing? So this is a fake drawing, right? Because like, you know, this was an empty canvas. The downside is I, like, part of the reason why I was doing a drawing stream is because I was working on other drawings and went, I want a break, and I started doodling. So we're doing this, because I was already doodling this. It'd be that way. Because I was already sketching this, and I'm like, I should probably stream this instead of me just doing this off stream, because I wanted to not just do work. So we're doing some things. We're doing hanging out, drawing a boomer. I have types. It's okay. I'm not easy, as I will try to convince myself. Oh, hello, Chewy. Hello. Ah, Levy, how you doing? He looks so huggable. How you don't get tired of reading VNs all the time. It was rough for a little bit. I'll admit, there was like a 2 to 3 month period where I just didn't want to read shit. And I think that was just because I wasn't entirely enjoying what I was reading. Like, there was like I want to say it was about a 2 to 3 week period where I stopped, like, recording in bulk, and I would just record a video, like, the day it was supposed to be uploaded, because I just wasn't, enjoying myself as much. I'm not doing that anymore. There's now, like, a healthy archive. I'm enjoying stuff. Probably should have just put production on hold, is what I probably should have done. But is what it is, you know, gotta pump out that content for people, right? Don't we all enjoy older gentlemen? You know, when I was streaming this game, most people were like, Josh, is Graph not your favorite? Josh, why are you being so mean to Graph? Why are you... Did you punch Graph? But look how cute Graph is, and I'm just sitting there staring at Brock the entire time. Going like, who? And I don't dislike Graph. I think he's cute. He's not Brock, though. I haven't watched your Brock playthrough. What did you think of that game? I think it's really cute. I don't have, like, complex feelings about the game. I just think it's fine. There are some things that I don't like about it, of course, because I'm me, right? I can't just like a thing. Like, I wish there was, like, some quality of life fixes. Because there's, like, some quality of life issues that, like, I think modern point-and-click adventures have solved in the past decade that this game doesn't have. And I'm staring at that going like, but why isn't that here? Why? And the implementation? Let's see here, I think that's the word, of, like, the Streets of Rage combat can be a bit at times. And by that I mean I don't like how much the game de-incentivizes you from interacting with it. Because, like, I like that gameplay. And I don't really like how the game is like, no, but don't do it. So I'm glad we're getting a DLC where that seems to be the main focus. So I don't feel like I'm penalizing myself from wanting to interact with a game system. Just the me thing. I seem to have been, like, the only one that had that problem. Or at least, like, most people in chat were like, is that really a problem, though? And I'm like, The combat was a lot less impactful and fun. Because you didn't care for it? Oh, I really like it. Granted, it's going for, like, stuff that I grew up with. God, I hate saying that. Like, because I played a bunch of those beat-em-ups in the arcade. So it was like, it's like I'm playing like that again. Oh, that's cool. Well, hello, Ian. There was no skip option at the time. I mean, I can see how the gameplay, like, even with how the combat works now, like, that was never a genre that people liked too much. Like, beat-em-ups were always kind of niche, so, like, I get it. And they were always kind of unforgiving, you know, they were called quarter munchers for a reason, right? Oh, hello, Danny. But I'll get back to that to finish off Brock at some point. I'm just gonna be taking a break from it for a bit. Because I did play quite a bit of it. And we got most of the endings. We got the endings that matter, right? We got fight together. The good ending, obviously. The part of me is like, I'm kind of glad I got the ending I did first. Even though I forgot to check the percentage of how many people got that ending first. Am I in a weird percentage? How many other people got, like, till the end of time first? I feel like that statistic is gonna be real jank. I do like how it has the, oh god, the telltale thing of showing you the percentages at the end. I do like that, because that's something I've always liked about those games. And he stays with Brock. Oh, so the, like, fight together ending? That one's normally hard to get. Because on normal and hard, the combat is quite hard. So losing that fight is easy? I see. Character name will remember that? Oh my god. Have those games aged poorly? Like, I haven't played one of those Telltale games in a very long time. Like, I played the Waking Bed, like, when it came out, like, Season 1. And I played, like, one of the Sam and Max games around that time. And I have not returned to those games. And part of me is like, I wonder if it'd be worth it. Or are they terrible? In terms of gameplay, we know they're terrible in terms of writing. It's okay. We just have to accept that deep in our Kokoro. I remember at the time, like, people were calling me crazy for not liking Kenny. Like, when Season 1 came out, I was just like, I hate this Kenny character. And people were like, but Josh... And I'm like, nah, he talks about his boat too much. I don't care about his fucking boat. I don't care about his boat. I don't care about his duck. I don't care about his wife. I don't care about his Framarish bullshit. I had a lot of X character will remember that, like, in a negative connotation when I played. I would just insult characters all the time to their face. They deserve it. I feel like how I play these like adventure games has never changed. I'm always just, I'm gonna insult you. I'm gonna hit you. Is there a gun? Give me that gun. I'm gonna shoot this gun. We're gonna have a good time. Your patron subscribers will remember that. Very good, very good. It's the illusion of free choice. I think the moment that I said, like, fuck you to the game was when I started Season 2. And they immediately kill off Krista and Omid. Was that their names? Because I'm just like, man, what was the fucking point? What was what was the point? What are we doing here? Are we here just to suffer? Did they not want to have to deal with writing those characters? Like, Season 2 sucked? That's an understatement. I'm staring at these grown-ass adults going like, what are we gonna do? Clementine, decide, like, 12-year-old, decide our fates. And I'm like, you're the adults in the room. You make decision. I'm playing as, like, 10-year-old girl. It's fine. It's not. How much tummy should he be showing? Let's see here. That should probably be raised a bit. God, he's so cute, guys. Like Brock? Damn it. Damn it. He's so cute. There we go. Like, it does make me want to, like, pump up the difficulty of the game and do the arena shit. Because it's like, I could probably do it. Like, it usually, like, takes me a minute to remember how to properly play a beat 'em up. But, like, they're fun. It's the good old days. You go to arcade, play a light gun shooter, or a beat 'em up, or a fighting game. It's like, yeah. I remember playing, like, oh, which version was it? I'm pretty sure it was Street Fighter 2 at an arcade that I used to go to as a kid. Because that arcade had, like, a bunch of those kind of fighting games and, like, House of the Dead and shit. That shit was great. That stuff was great. Kids today don't even know. It's something I like about, like, what's his name? Gabe's route in and burrows as they'll mention shit like that. I'm always like, yes. We'll slim it down slightly. There we go. Guys, he's so cute. I think the foot's like wrong though. Let's yeah, I think it should be pointed up like that. Not very good at that perspective, but it's fine. What do you take me for, an artist? Huh, I gotta figure out how to put his jacket on. What is the music right now? It's called, oh god, what is it? It's shelter music. How about that? That'll be easier. It's from Shelter. All right, his jacket is like weirdly short. I always forget that. It actually doesn't go past his waist. Yeah, yeah, whoops. Look how I draw eyeballs. It's a little weird. I know. It gets me in trouble when I try to draw like people. Because that was always something that like bothered my teachers in school, is they're like, why do you draw eyes like that? It was really only a problem if I was drawing like when we were doing like portrait work and learning like, yeah, portrait and figure work, because I would still kind of draw eyes in a like slightly bigger, and I would still draw pupils in a slightly more oval like, and that always like upset my teachers because it is wrong to do. But of course when you're drawing like cartoony and shit, it's like it's fine. Like, they were perfectly fine with it when I was doing, like, this kind of design work. Because I was like, I want to be a cartoonist. Yeah, those dreams are dead. But, like, it do be fine. I always feel like I can wring more, like, emotion out of these kind of eyes. Don't entirely know where I got that design sensibility from. Like, I'm sure I could dredge it up from my soul if I, like, looked through everything. But no idea where I got that from. Mester, do you be halfway there, though? Is this how his hat looked? I'm always, like, awful at figuring out how to do perspective on hats. So, like, I hope this is just kind of good enough. His hat is small. It's weird, because it's small in some artwork, and it's not small in other artworks. It is really annoying. Though this should be shorter. That is for certain. Look, I get it. Having a consistent model is really difficult. I get it. I understand. It's like I'm currently having troubles with that in a project, so it's fine. Granted, it was nice, like, looking up the sprites for this game and remembering and realizing, like, oh my god, there's real art design here. Oh, thank god, that makes that so much easier to to pull from. No offense to the some of the FVNs I've played, but you know, sometimes art design's not quite there. This game has, like, really good use of shape language for its character models, and that makes it much, much easier to recreate. Maybe one day I'll go back, well, not really go back, but maybe one day I'll draw some of the other characters in this game. Because the designs are good. But knowing me, I'll probably end up defaulting. If I ever wanted to, like, draw a character in this game, I'll probably just default to Brock. Because I am, you know, ill. I'm gonna use the term ill. You could do one of the hot rats. You're right, I could, but you know, I like Brock the most. He's a cutie. Actually, I think oh god, it's really blurry in this image I have. Because I just took a screenshot from YouTube. Let me see if I can copy paste this. Oh, hello, Bucky. Because I currently have like my favorite sprite of his up. It's this one. Oh, that's small for ants. Yeah, this one. This one's my favorite. He's so cute there. Okay. It's fine. Yeah, there we go. We'll get his hat right. Maybe we'll do it. Maybe we'll do it like this. I think that's better. And we'll do that. The chief is pretty hot. Oh, his name Wes? Wes is alright. Like, I like him, but I'm not, like, crazy about him. Oh, the chief rat? Oh, he's good. Yeah. Yeah, that rat doll. Oof, with the vest. It's fine. I'm only a little bit predictable in what I like. Because, man, when I design, I pretty much always default to, like, open vests and tank tops. And I'm like, that is not how normal people dress, Josh. That you can't put everyone in shit like that. But I can try, though. I can do it anyway. Who's gonna stop me? Myself, obviously. Oh, does it not repeat? Oh, okay, wait. That's fine. This song just starts real quiet. Yeah, Oh my god, yeah, it's like shapes properly connect here in this design. Like, oh, 10 out of 10. I don't have to, like, guess on how things should work based on how it looks. It just already works. And the model is proper. Like, oh, thank God. Because anytime I do play a VN in which the designs are, like, real well put together, I'm always like, oh, thank God. I'm not gonna use examples because I don't wanna upset anyone. Is that how that's gonna fold? That's how I'm gonna make it fold. I'm gonna do the line like that. Cause he's in a hurry. I think with a lot of them, it's like a lack of like really good design theory and skill when illustrating. Again, no offense to anyone, but it's like, oh yeah, it's noticeable. You can always tell which games have like an art team that knows the stuff and which ones don't. Is there any way a person could commission you for a stream not art related? Eh? What? Not really? I don't really do commissions of any kind. I feel like that would be bad for me. There we go. How do we want to... Because he has, like, the button thing. He has, like, one of those old-style jackets. Or I guess not old-style, but, like, one of these. Where it has this on the side. That he really doesn't gel with. I don't like doing that. There you go. I think that'll look okay. We'll have that squished there. Create the illusion. It has the same thing on the other side. There we go. Like, sure, his mouth model is really off here. I should probably fix that. Because his mouth does not work the way on how I illustrated it. But we will worry about that later. Go. Maybe that'll work. Maybe like that. Maybe I want to show his fingies. Maybe we'll do it that way. We'll actually show it to where it's... Oh, hello, Alex. Xbox 360 Live Arcade? Eh? I don't know what that is. I assume that's the, like, storefront. Dies in 3 hours? Eh? Ah, they're always doing this shit. It's like, come on, friends. You don't need to, like, remove the game forever. Come on. That's just incentivizing people to pirate your shit. More than they already do. I think we'll put a better curve onto that. Yeah. There, he's looking pretty good. I like can never tell if he's like wearing a crop top, like tank top, or if it's just that small on him. The game had a lot of belly fan service. That game had a lot of things. There was a lot of talk of urine, seeing people's rears. Don't forget the shower. Oh, there was the shower. There was a lot. There was a lot there. And yet they made the majority of characters straight. I'll never understand. I mean, I understand. They wanted the game to be marketable, and I totally get that. But I'll never forget the scene where Brock is just like, Wes, show me your butthole. For science. For the investigation. Show me your rear. Like, okay. Okay, Brock. While D was watching. Oh, that's true. That's true. You know, I have this, like, the image I'm using for, like, looking at Brock's expressions for this to know how to draw his, like, face. One of them, like, I don't think this one was in the final game, but he's wearing just a tank top here, and it's a little cute. It's fine. It's okay. We all know how easy I am when it comes to that shit. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, the arm is off. Not to my liking. Maybe if we ink it like that, we can force it to work how I want it to. Oh wait, which is the... Was it canonical? No, it wasn't canonical. Which ending was it? Like the name of the ending where you get to see him in like his wrestling gear? That's a good look. Him having that look in the DLC image, I'm like, yes, 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 yes. I think it was one of the last endings I got, like last time. It's like the other variant of like fight together, right? Rapture, that's what it was. Yeah. It's such a cute ending. McGrath and Odd ends up fixing Brock. Yeah. And he wears the cute, like, wrestling gear, and he's because he gets to keep doing what he loves. Smashing his almost naked body into a bunch of men in a fight. It's very good. Love that for him. We'll figure out how to do these toesies. I don't normally do full body, so we're relearning this shit on the go, in the moment. It'll look terrible, but that's okay, you know? Whenever you do something, it's gonna look terrible for a while. Maybe forever. But that's how drawing works, right? Like, you think I'm gonna pull up a reference for drawing feet? Nah, that's weird. Wait, how do you feel about Graph? I think Graph is just okay. Like, he's cute. Like, I get why people like him, but he's no daddy. Like... hello, Jerry. I'm doing okay. We're just sitting here. We're just doing some arts and crafts, one might say. Yeah. At least want like the claws to look okay, you know? They don't look like they protrude too far in the key art. Because I feel like I would rather just draw some clawed toes over like shoes, just because like I learned pretty early in school that I can't draw shoes to fucking save my life. I like don't get the perspective on them. They look weird. It's so hard to manage. Like, no, it's, you know, is difficult. At least with like a furry character, you can give them some cartoonish looking ass like feet, and then put some claws on that and call it a day. What animal am I drawing? He's a they could never decide, could they? Some characters called him a crocodile, and some characters called him a gator, and he was just like, yeah, that works. Like, I get it. It's just a convenient thing for the game. So they just needed the name, right? This is the investigator. Could be part of the mystery. I think it's just supposed to be a joke that like works in the game's favor. Otherwise they wouldn't make fun of it as much in the game. Yeah, like, I'm sure it's nothing too deep. Guys, things... It is rolled up. It's kind of hard to... hit. Da 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 da. Here we go. Whatever, it's all the way at the bottom of the image. People won't pay too much attention, right? Everyone's gonna be looking at his face and belly. Also, I'll put on the pendant later, okay? Don't think I forgot. I just have been putting it off. Missing out on the feet market? I don't want the feet market. Like, you can have that. That's never been something I've been, like, super about. Like, nah. I'm usually more enamored with, like, the waist up. I'm more of a shoulders and arms kind of guy. Which, you know, Brock's got covered, so he's good. Eh. Let's see here. What shape was the pendant? Oh wow, looking at these looking at the drafts for his sprite. They had a bunch of designs for the necklace. Like, most of these do not have the pendant. It's a lot of these are like dog tags. And like all the concept art for the sprites, like all of the drafts for it, they're like all dog tags. That's kind of funny. For the PNGs. Yeah, like, I could, but I was really lazy and I Googled it instead, and then found all of these, like, the drafts for the sprites, and went, well, that's a lot funnier to look at. Yeah, and is a little more informative. There we go. We'll make it a little bigger, you know. That's probably fine. Gotta make it at least, like, noticeable on the design. I made his belly stretch way too low. Or this needs to be lowered. And also scrunched in. show up better if I do. Not really. Like RJ without his shirt. You know, I didn't get to see much of RJ in my playthrough. I think people called that the cursed chapter. I think Ian said that. There's a chapter that I just went, wait, I can do this. Let's make the game easier. Oh, hello, Nines. Let's see here. Oh, wait, his gator tail. I've completely forgotten his gator tail. How do we want to portray his gator tail? Yeah, It's real big in the key art. But like... how do we fold it in with how we've already... I really forgot this, didn't I? Yeah, I'm glad the game just kind of lets you murder people as you wish. That's kind of nice. And the game's only a little bit like, no, please don't do that. Only a little bit. Granted, sometimes it's far funnier just to injure a person and not kill them. Like Ott. It's like, I'm just gonna punch you, okay? Okay. It'll knock you out. But like, you know, you gotta get out of here. I don't want to deal with you right now. Hitting me wasn't very nice. I mean, like, yep. And I just kind of nodded and went, no. I think it was the correct choice. Like, I just think that's correct, but alright. He's gotta learn sooner or later, right? Let's see here. How does this tail actually work? Give me a minute. Let's... Well, that's a lot of lines. Man, condolences to whoever had to, like, keyframe this shit out. Gives it the fatness. I mean, you're not wrong. I think this is gonna take me a minute to, like, figure out how to properly... I guess I could just not put in the lines and call it a day. You know, simplify it a little bit for myself. But also... Because really, I'm looking at, like, this shit. And I'm like, you what? Like... Maybe this will be the one part of the design we just cheap out on. And just have it be the solid tail. That's probably fine. Who's gonna notice? There we go. Here we'll... Why is this so large? Okay. Oh wait, do we want to fix the mouth? I guess we can fix the mouth by, like... doing just that? Is there one... Let's see here. That's a little more on model. Right? I don't like that eyebrow. We can figure this out. There we go. Now we'll be here for like 3 hours doing this. These lines too thick. Maybe that's what's happening. Maybe I should be using that. I guess the subject is technically smaller than I typically ink. Alright, see you nines. Yeah, that's fine. Am I a brat? What? Am I brat coded? What do you mean? Like, what is this implying? Like a bratty top? What does that mean? Definitely not. Here I am just being like, oh, but what if someone sees this stray pixel? Like, it'll ruin how the curve will feel. Like, I probably stressed too much about that shit. But anytime I see it, I'm like, gotta fix it. I mean, one kind of has to realize that, like, most people won't even notice. It's like learning... It's weird that you have to learn where you can cheat because you know that, like, your audience won't notice those mistakes. It's definitely a weird balancing act. Okay. We'll do it this way. The inconsistencies in VNs. Yeah. Yeah. Which, like, I get it. Loses its buttons when he laughs. William's sprites are kinda... They're weirdly jank. Because his entire, like, body proportions will change with every posing. Like the sprite where it's almost front facing William laughing is like, why is head suddenly like twice as big? Which, like, I get it. It's not a deal breaker. Just like, you notice it. For like 5 years. Yeah, pretty much. It was what, 2019? Was when it started? "2019 was 5 years ago." I mean, math kind of worked that way, right? Then Echo art-wise, look. Echo's rough. Echo on an art front is pretty rough. But that game's also had so many replacements and updates to its art that, like, oh, like, what do we even do now? The writing is far more consistent than its art. But that just comes from, like, some characters are using sprites from such old builds and some aren't, and then there's like the modern CGs that are all over the place. Wow, the backgrounds and the sprites. Oh, there's something. Oh, there's something. Look, it was back before they had, like, good Patreon money. It's mostly fine. And now they can funnel that Patreon money into the Adastraverse. Do you think they'll reboot Kemiya for a third time? That's what I'm hoping for. I like desperately want them to never get off the boat. How much just keeps getting pumped into it? I mean, it's like they're... It is more of their cash cow, right? Like, you will find more fans of Adastra than, like, of Echo. Echo's a little bit too niche, you know? Don't worry, it's just following in its footsteps of what inspired it. Actually, speaking of what inspired it, I don't think I ever mentioned it, but... Is it right next to me? Yeah, it's over here. For my birthday, a relative had gotten me a plushie of the dog from Silent Hill 2. So I just have this cute little dog plushie with some headphones on. Super cute. Love this guy. Yeah. I'll put you right there for now. A cash-in with no heart? I don't think I would call it that, because like there's clearly stuff that they're passionate about in the Adastra projects. I'm just not here for it. I'm like, you can have that. That's fine. This little guy. You haven't even played it? Which one? That was the chapel. Like, I feel like I would have really liked to, or I guess I still would. I would still love to see the design Bible for Kemia. I think that's something I look at and just, I think about it on occasion. I go, I would love to see what the design Bible was. Now that they say that they're, like, completely retooling it. And it's like, give me the design Bible. Let me read it. I'd rather read that than play the game. How much was changed because of arches, right? Like, I'm curious. That's something I'm always a fan of. If they, when a studio publishes the design Bible, I'm usually like, oh, thank God, let me read that shit, baby. I remember reading the ones for, like, Jack and Daxter and going, like, Jesus fuck. You guys are on crunch. But, like, 90% of this didn't make it into the product. Let me talk your ear off with the Dastra. I mean, Trekkies are like that, though. Then again, I've never trusted a Trekkie in my entire life. Alright, see ya, Chapel. Oh, hello, Jolly. What am I drawing? I'm drawing a character named Brock. From Brock the Investigator. There we go. Because his face is a little bit squished compared to his model, but it's probably alright. I shouldn't stress about that kind of stuff. Yeah, his jacket is so short. Like, I'm so used to seeing, like, a coat go, like, beyond the waistline, and his is just, like, cuts off right at the waist. I mean, I get it. Like, I get it, but... can definitely tell what this designer was into. Which, no shade, I get it. I'm there with him. Yeah, they can come up with as many in-universe reasons as possible, and I'm just sitting here going like, yep, you still design them that way. Alright, see you, Scratcher. Okay, let's see if we can make these lines work. Like, as intended. What made you pick this outfit over the tank top in the picture? Wait, which picture? Like, yeah, just went with his default look, right? Figured that would be, like, good. So I didn't feel like I was being too self-indulgent. The one beating up the Squealer Chief. Ah, that's such a good look. I wanted to make it feel like I wasn't being as self-indulgent with it. You know. Can come after the normal one. Maybe. Like, this definitely wasn't the first idea I had for how to draw Brock. Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay? It is all good. There we go. Thinking back to your sus drawings a couple years ago. What do you mean? What do you mean? What's sus drawing? I feel like I didn't draw anything too sussy. Like, not like aggressively sussy. I think. Just safe for work. Ah, that's true. That's true. I was real into that, wasn't I? Where I'm like, I wonder how much I can stretch this. It's fine, you know? It's better this way. It's better remembered fondly. What if he was on a horse? Now you stop that. Ah, Selkie, hello. obviously drawn below him. Oh my god. What if I just edited out the legs? Like, redrew the legs specifically? I mean, that's true. But no. There we go. To the Happy Gator fan art button? Stop that. No. Put Leo Horse below it? Oh my god. I don't even- the perspective wouldn't even work! It's fine, I guess. Make it fit? Alright, see you, Charles. How's this looking? You can, like... You can tell it's Brock. Hopefully. He's very Brock. I guess he do be, right? Why don't I... How do I want this arc to feel? I think that looks... That'll do. That'll do for our needs. Actually, no, it's fine. Okay. So we'll fix that later. Why does he have to be so cute? Looking at his cute, squished little face. That big old baddie. They knew what they were doing. Yeah, the perspective on that's gonna be pretty bad, because I don't really know how to do that. Apologies. Stop. No. Stop. No. Tater tots. Stop. Oh my god. Cirrus's grippers. Oh, is that his legacy in the Discord? Is that how this works? He'll never live it down. Oh. It's a little bit true. Like here, I thought he snuck that in there in that pick on purpose, and then no, huh? Maybe we can make this work. It's fine. I shouldn't worry about it too much. Ah, Michael, hello, hello! Good to see you, good to see you. Hope you're doing alright, buddy. It do be an investigator. The last academic stuff you needed to get over with. Oh, God. We need to just eject the education system into the sun, don't we? We do, right? Shit is jank as fuck. A psychologist here in Mexico? Oh, okay. But like, are you done with edumacation, or are you done for the semester? I say semester, like, you know, I probably means summer. It's not really a semester, is it? Like, are you good? Are you freed from the shackles? It's the end? Ah, let's go. Are you gonna take your education diploma and frame it, held it up high, or are you gonna shred it? I don't even have my diploma. Or certificates. You're a free man now. Oh, yeah, it's right. Half the time I would be like, oh, I wonder where Michael is. I haven't seen him in so long. And then it like just lines, I just wasn't thinking about it, and it lines up with exam season. And I'm like, ah, that's probably where they went. Could have been like me when it came to exam season and just shrugged and went, it'll be what it is. I refuse to do extra work. I refuse to do extra studying. For a master's degree? No. Man, I have a friend that like got a master's degree, and I always made fun of him all the time by going like just telling him like you're never leaving school, and he's like, yeah. Because he has like 3 different majors. He's swapped careers so many times. Like, he worked in psychology for multiple years and then just went, I don't want to do this anymore. And went to school for like 2 or 3 more years to go into cybersecurity, and like does that on the side for his retail job, because he works retail but just also does like all of that as a side gig, and I'm like, what the fuck, sir? Also, he's a trained musician when it comes to like music theory and whatever, and he just doesn't work in that field either. Yeah, he works retail. Look, life do be suffering like that. Yeah, because he told me like he originally wanted to go in for like music, did all of the music shit, then went, oh, I can't make money, I can't make a living off of this, went into psychology, worked as a psychologist for multiple years, went, I hate people. And just dump that entire career. He likes torture. He does. He's a Magic the Gathering player. Of course, he's masochistic. Like, good friend, good guy, but like, holy shit, sometimes I talk to him and I'm just like, friend, what are you doing? Like, just what are you doing? Like, are you okay? And the answer is no. But it's okay, we make fun of him for it. I think he's told me that he was like a couple, like within a year away of being considered like a practicing psychologist. He said something about like needing like a set number of hours like as a working as a psychologist to do things. And like he was like just shy of it basically. Like, given all things, right? Like, yeah, he would have needed to do it for another year, but like that's still pretty good, right? The way that he talked about it was that his job specifically was couples counseling as a psychologist, and he just hated that. So yeah. Yeah, you can see why he is where he's at now. There's crackling noise. Is it me or is it here? If I turn down, is it the microphone or is it the like thingy thing? Is it like my mic? You think it was the music? If I turn it back up. Here. If I switch the output and go over here. Is it still crackly? If I do that. Okay. Yeah, Okay, okay. See, we got this. I can... I can just switch where it's the audio's being captured from. It's fine. To unemployed. Oh, no. I mean, it do be that way. Oh, that doesn't quite... That'll be fixed momentarily. How does that look from out here? We can work with that. You're the one known for TCGs. Yeah, I do look into a lot of those games, don't I? It's unfortunate. Do you like how do I start looking at it? I mean, there is a database that's pretty good. Let me grab that real quick. Here, I can... It's called... the website's called, like, ffdex.com. And it updates with tournament results and has a full card database. Deck builder, and they do like post the listings for all the major tournaments and the top 8 for each, so that's a good place to at least like look at like what's going on with the game. Why do I have a shit ton of notifications? Okay, that's fine. It is one of those unfortunate things that Square Enix, like, despite the fact that the game is fine, right? They do not advertise it. Like, Square Enix just straight up does not advertise that they have a currently ongoing card game that sells well. Like, on top of that. And they don't have a lot of official resources that you can use to interact with the game. Like, I feel like if they spent, like, any amount of money to advertise the game, it would be fine. Like, to me, I think it's insane that, like, you don't see weird alt art promos come with, like, physical versions of games or some shit. But also, the card game is so far behind. Like, it's weird. It's really weird, because, like, the card game is about, like, 2 years behind all official releases for Final Fantasy. So, like, it's the set that we're gonna get this fall is going to be the first set with Final Fantasy 16. It's really weird. Like, the game is just, like, weirdly behind on, like, new releases. So there's, like, hardly any synergy between, like, what's happening with, like, the brand of Final Fantasy and the card game. There's, like, no synergy between them because of how late the card game starts getting stuff. It's really weird. But it is a weirdly well-made card game, which I never would have expected if I didn't play it myself. Which almost makes it more upsetting how much, like, Square really drops the ball in terms of, like, promotion for the game. They don't want to work out a different rhythm. But at the same time, like, you have 4 core set releases a year. They don't release that many Final Fantasy games anymore. So you could just have, like, a core set scheduled for the year that a game comes out to cross-promote that game. Like, that's a thing you can do. It would probably help the card game, because you'd have people that are, like, interested in the video game go, oh, there's a card game? Maybe I'll, like, do that as well. Like, check it out. Will they? No. They straight up won't. Because the card game's just real weird in how it's promoted. And by that, I mean not promoted at all. But it is really neat how they took, like, the base of Magic the Gathering and went, okay, but let's have a good mana resource. And have a good version of damage calculation in battle. There we go, fixed. Amazing. Everyone claps. It's transmission based. Yeah, the resources, like, how the resource system works in Final Fantasy is kind of insane. Because it's just like, oh, they fixed it. Amazing. Like, they somehow made it to where, like, you no longer brick in the game. Like, not really. Yet, they still include resource cards in the main deck. But they're also not fully needed. And you don't really brick on them. It's very neat. I'm like, oh my god, it's every complaint I've had about the land system. Like in MTG, but fixed. Huh. And, like, fixed in a clever way. To where, like, the mechanic still exists. And you still technically run it. But you're not sad about it. Because, boy, every time I play MTG, and, like, I draw for turn, and it's a land, I just stare at that, and go, but why? And the Wizards of the Coast staff descend from on high, and say, no, it's good. It's as intended. Like, it's always bothered me that they present the idea that the randomness of drawing lands is what makes the game fun. Where they're like, there needs to be an element of randomness in the game. Here you go. And I'm like, fuck you. Like, actually. Give me a good reason. Because, like, nearly all other games have fixed this mana resource. Except for you! It's weird is all I'm saying. Granted, I'd argue that, like, one of the games with the best mana resource is still, like, Battle Spirits. Very unfortunate about that one. Buddy Fight had a pretty good mana resource, but only because it was a soft mana resource for, like, not all cards in the game costed mana. And you just had to be okay with that. Like, some cards would cost mana, some wouldn't, and it was like juggling your deck with that, where it's like, you only get so much mana in the course of a game in Buddy Fight. So you have to, like, inherently have cards that cost mana and don't cost mana, and you need to find that balanced. And that was kind of the fun of that game. And they still incentivize you to include cards that cost mana. Because, like, there was never a deck that was like, oh, run all costless cards. Because that would just be bad. Because all the best cards in the game did cost mana. But it just, like, it didn't narrow your deck building, but it did make you go, like, oh, you don't want to, like, overload your deck with stuff that costs mana, because you'll never be able to cast it. Yeah, that game was real cool. Also legitimately had the coolest archetype design I had ever seen in any card game. Like, every single set would be like, here, we've revamped an archetype or introduced an archetype. It's insane. Like, with how they work. Because boy, did they explore every facet of how games, like, how the system of buddy fight works, and had a deck that manipulated it in some way. Very cool game. I love the deck that's just like, oh yeah, our cards don't activate on our turn. Like, they actively do nothing on... Like, the creatures, when summoned, all have texts that are like, if summoned during the opponent's turn. Like, that's how, like, nearly every card in the archetype was worded. Was, like, when activated during the opponent's turn. So you would have to, like... of course, the entire deck was built around, like, doing stuff during the opponent's turn. And it was the Angel deck. Because, like, the idea is it's, like, the judgment of God cutting you off during your turn. Was, like, the theming behind it. Oh yeah, that deck was a lot of fun. But, like, you can also say that about, like, nearly every deck in Buddy Fight. Like, every archetype was doing something different. And you rarely had, like, repeat archetypes. But, like, you know how the Yu-Gi-Oh! Has an issue where they'll introduce an archetype, and then, like, 2 years later, they'll release a new archetype that did the exact same thing as an previous archetype, but better. Like, you didn't really have that in Buddy Fight, which was nice. They would just be like, because every deck manipulated one thing differently than other decks, it made sure everything felt different. Eldritch and Lab, right. Because, like, realistically, that could have just been Eldritch support if you just, like, renamed a bunch of cards. And I think it's kind of annoying that they didn't. Because that would have brought a bunch of Eldritch players back into the game. I don't want them to, but that would have been nice from their perspective, to give them a reason to come back and interact with the game, rather than telling them to buy a whole new deck. Look, it's the same thing you were doing, except instead of a bisexual zombie, you now have to deal with a lesbian as your boss monster. And I'm like, I don't want to play the lesbian deck. Followed by Konami asking, which one? Like, but actually, though, like, we have how many just lesbian deck archetypes in Yu-Gi-Oh! Now? It is very unfortunate. Control decks being queered and coded as sus. It do be that way. Yeah, because when, like, when the Labyrinth deck came out, I was like, shit, but didn't the lesbian group already get Exo-Sisters like a year or two ago? Didn't we already have Live Twin? When am I gonna get a good furry archetype in Yu-Gi-Oh! With actually attractive looking characters? I'm sorry, there just isn't a single one. I know people are like, but Josh, you have for hire. And I'm like, fuck off. They're not that hot. There's like 1 or 2 good-looking ones, and that's fucking it. And they're like, well, what about Gladiator Beast? And I'm like, what about fucking Gladiator Beast? Them shits look ugly as fuck. And it's like if it was only Buddy Fight. Buddy Fight was like the only game with actually good fur bait archetypes. I was there for that. Cause like, yeah, I played Blade Beasts in Buddy Fight. And most people that knew me back when I played that game, they were like, Blade Beasts? Josh, you normally play control decks. This is like a hyper aggro deck. And I'm like, yeah. I'm not playing this for the hot like samurai wolfer buddy that sometimes like has his arms raised to show off his armpits. No siree. I like the play style of this deck. I mean, the deck was basically just Light Sworns, so like it was easy to play. Mermail's kind of tried. There's like 1 hot Mermail, and that's it. It's like, nah. If people can get, like, a whole-ass archetype of, like, hot women, lesbians, whatever, then I demand a whole-ass archetype of hot gay men. And not twinks. Not twinks, damn it. Libromancers don't count. Hot gay furry man. Yeah, that's right. Man, the Dino Wrestlers, like, were so close. They were so close. Like, if they had, like, 3 more playable cards, you could play that archetype. The fact that they only have 2 playable cards, and one of them is semi-fucking limited, is not good. It's not a good time. Legacy support? So it's not gonna happen because Go went back to using Gokis. So, like, if we ever get legacy support for Go, it's going to be, like, Gokis. And they're going to skip over Dino Wrestlers. Yeah, because he only played that during, like, a single arc of the show. And that was also when the character was, like, the least popular, so they'll probably, like, take that into account and be like, let's not... Oh my god, I hate the legacy support for Abyss actors. Hello, Cirrus. Like, I was a person that played Abyss actors on release, because Sawatari is my favorite Arc 5 character, and I will never apologize for that. Because he's an absolute star. So... But, like, them turning, like, a going second board-breaking aggro deck that wants to just beat the opponent's face in with Evil Heal, like, and then they turned it into a floodgate deck. I'm just, I hate this. I hate this so much. Because I actually really liked how Abyss actors would, like, how they actually played. I liked their whole gimmick of, like, tributing their cards to give others power, copying effects via the pendulums, and then just mass destroying your opponent's resources with Abyss King. Like, come on, like, that, it has such, like, it's a little bit of a linear game plan, but, like, there was nothing inherently wrong with it. You just needed to, like, make it so that they can actively OTK, because it started to get harder, right? Like, you couldn't just swing with a Devil Heal twice anymore per game. It doesn't sound like the same deck at all. I mean, that's modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Design. Like, anytime... Because they don't want to have to give an old archetype a lot of cards, so what they'll typically do is give them a really overpowered stun card, so that they can last an extra turn to do the normal thing the archetype used to do. And no one's going to do that, because they're just going to loop the stun card, because, you know, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! And then to OTK the opponent after that, right? When you know that you can. Yeah, Fire Kings did the same thing. Like, they just turned it into where it's like, the thing you were doing on your first turn, now you can do it during your opponent's turn. There you go. We fixed the archetype. And I'm like, sure, it's playable now, but... And I get it, the inherent way Fire Kings plays, like, doesn't work today anymore. Just because of how the speed of the game works. Just because their whole gimmick was, like, during your standby phase, or, like, during the end phase. And it's like, bitch, we ain't got time for that. We can't wait that long. This is a one-turn game. You expect us to wait till the end phase? The treatment of Altergeist? Oh, you mean they just gave up and just had you activate traps turn 1? Just so that the archetype gets to play? The ultimate give up button for a trap-based archetype. Just let them activate their traps like spells. And I'm like, good to know that they just completely gutted this mechanic. Yeah. Because, like, I'm sure no one will be surprised if you know how this archetype plays, but I was that guy that legitimately liked playing Lair of Darkness. And the fact that that deck is now too slow, despite being able to cripple an opponent's deck turn 1, is annoying. Like, they have so many combos that just say your opponent can't play for the rest of the game, and it is too slow. It's not good enough. And I'm like, how do we... This is a problem, right? Like... and that's why you don't play Yu-Gi-Oh! It's because their game sucks, right? Oh yes, it's your opponent. Yeah, it sucks. We probably need a new virus that banishes things face down. But then they don't want to, like, fully support viruses because a virus is a very clunky legacy archetype because they don't really know who owns the archetype, which is funny. Because it's like, oh, do we include it as part of Kaiba legacy support? Or do we include it as support for Lair of Darkness, which are technically two different decks, but both use the virus cards to some extent. It is a little odd, a little annoying even. But there's also no fixing that. And we're never gonna get, like, real support for the Kaiba version of the virus deck again, because it's not Blue Eyes themed. In fact, it doesn't work with Blue Eyes at all, so... we'll probably never see the return of those cards in support lineup. Did anyone else think we would get, like, a version of Soggy the Dark Clown or Petin the Dark Clown and retrained as modern cards that work with viruses? Did anyone think we would get, like, Kaiba's clowns back at some point? Because I always thought we would, and that didn't happen. Go first wins. It's very true. Like, I kind of hold that Yu-Gi-Oh! Is currently the most boring card game to play. Because I'm either sitting there for 10 minutes comboing, or I'm watching my opponent sitting there for 10 minutes comboing with the other player on their phone. It basically feels as uninteractive as Pokemon is. But what about hand traps? Well, their, like, second summon is going to, like, be able to negate Nibiru. And Ash Blossom ain't what it used to be. So, what do you want me to do? Oh, they could always, like, unlimit tier limits. At least that's a fun deck, unironically. You know, at least, like, Havness was interactable and didn't auto-win the game. Oh, so serious. Here's the problem. Ash Blossom is an instant win hand trap against 90% of decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! But the 10% that don't lose to Ash Blossom are the decks that are seeing play. Because they were built to play past hand traps, essentially. They punish Ash Blossom? Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Yeah. Did you Ash Blossom me? Thanks for the combo piece, buddy. Lincoln to Charmer. Or like Hida? Is that her name? And I'm like, were the Link Charmers a mistake? Maybe just Hida. But, like, they can't print one and not the others, so, like, I get it. From the yeah. I mean, there's been a lot of just really bad design mistakes in recent Yu-Gi-Oh! That's like, why do people still play this? Like, unironically, like, we actively have other games on the market now. Like, you don't have to stick with Yu-Gi-Oh! Friends. You've got options. There we go. That's unfortunate. I'll have to do that just to keep it even. That's not bad, though. Not a bad thing. Yeah, he's looking good. He's looking all right. Just friends to play with. Like, I get that. But it's also the reason, like, the reason why whenever I pick up another card game, I always just buy 2 decks. Anytime I look into a game, I just immediately buy 2 decks for it, just so I can toss the second deck to someone and be like, here, we'll play a good game. And then they'll inevitably just go like, but can we play Magic though? I loved giving a bunch of friends Wicross decks. All of them going, wow, this plays so much better than Magic the Gathering. And then we still ask to play Commander instead. And I'm like, this is where good games go to die, I see. Granted, Wicross is doing, like, perfectly fine, which is so weird. Granted, like, the failings of current Wizards has really helped Wicross, because a bunch of the competitive scene for Wicross is a bunch of like, Magic players. Which is just a little bit funny. It's just a little bit funny. It's like, joined the good game. I see, I see. Betray the Wizards. I mean, like, we kind of should. Because that company's, like, run like shit. And it's getting harder and harder to want to support that company. Like, we're at a point to where, like, you look at Konami and how they run Yu-Gi-Oh! And you're like, well, they run Yu-Gi-Oh! Far better than Wizards runs Magic the Gathering. And that's saying something. At least the Japanese side of Yu-Gi-Oh! Which, like, the PR is different over there. And you just have Takada Tomy over there going like, what? America's supporting Wicross? Insane. Let's bring over the Wicross Museum as a pop-up museum with regionals so that like Americans can learn more about like what Wicross was before it came to America. And like the Japanese dev team showed up and did Q&As on what America wants out of the brand, and that stuff was super cool, like actually. Like, they actively just keep getting better at running events here in America, and I'm like, wow, they actually are... Because, like, Takatomi has never had to host events globally, since they've just been, like, a Japanese... Like, none of their card games have really taken off in the West, so... It was pretty cool, pretty cool. You would have told right. Yeah, We're almost there. Yeah, because a lot of card game news has been real mid for the most part. Like, you have Shadowverse finally taking off more since we got to the good set in Japan finally. So it's like that game's now like actually playable. And it's like, oh, the card pool is good now, because that was like the problem. Is like the game design for Shadowverse was fine, but the card pool at the time was really boring. So it's like, oh, thank God Set 5 came out. The game is saved, at least on the like a player like fun perspective. It's like, good, I finally got Deus Ex for my Haven deck. Cool, now I'll never run out of mana. Thanks. We love to see it. The Battle Spirit Saga is still kicking in there. It's really weird. They announced a new block for the game, and I'm like, really? You're sticking it out for another year? Interesting. I pray for you. I'm not gonna buy it, but I pray for you. Granted, if as soon as they announce Brave or give me Apollo Dragon, yes, I will be buying. Fortunately, I know neither of those things are happening, so I never have to actually purchase that game. Because they've basically already, like, without saying it, basically said that those mechanics are never coming to the English version of the game, so it's like, cool. I don't care then. They could, like, maybe get me to care if they put in Lord Dragon. Because I think, yeah, because Lord Dragon's my favorite key spirit from Battle Spirits. Granted, I still think, like, if Takatomi, because, yeah, it would be Takatomi. They're the ones that do Wicross, right? But they also publish another really curious game in Japan that you look at and you go, if it wasn't for Wizards, this probably would exist in America. Because Takatomi does all of the card design and manufacturing and production of Duel Masters. And it's like, oh, damn it. Because unfortunately, they do not own the English distribution rights for that. It technically still belongs to Wizards. So... despite the fact that Takara Tomy does an amazing job with Duel Masters in Japan, it is forever out of reach. Granted, I guess not all news has been, like, bad. You know, we have, San Diego Comic-Con just happened, and DC announced a whole bunch of stuff that was really cool. You know, they talked more about the, what are they calling it? The Absolute Universe, or the Absolute Imprint of comics. So anything with, like, Absolute in the title will take place in a separate continuity. For people who don't want to be marred down with the legacy of DC Comics, you can just read the Absolute lineup of comics. Which, like, is cool. Granted, I'm not, like, a big fan of some of the things they've talked about with, like, Diana, or Wonder Woman. But the Batman series could be cool. Like, I'm not, like, the biggest fan of Scott Snyder as a writer, but, you know, it's... you know, the memes have been good, right? I don't know if anyone has seen the jokes with the Batman who lifts, as people are calling him, because the Batman of the Absolute Universe is swole as fuck. He's a big boy. He's beefy. I'm looking at that chest and I'm like, holy shit. Why is he so big? So yeah, people are calling the joke name that people are referring to him as is the Batman who lifts. And I kind of love that. I kind of love that a lot. One, any reason to make fun of the Batman who laughs, like, sign me up. But that joke, pretty good. That, and they announced that the JSA, you know, the Justice Society, are getting a new comic run, so that's good. They're not just canceling their book. It is starting with we're getting a new run of it, so a new creative team. And they showed the preview of the cover for it, and it has Jade and Todd on it. That's so exciting, like, actually. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of Jade as a character. I know. You know, she do be a woman. But the fact that Todd is coming back, I am a little bit floored, because I was really excited in 2020 when they announced Todd now existed again in the DC universe. Because there was just a really unfortunate decade where they just said Todd was never born. He doesn't exist anymore. And I'm like, but why? And, you know, it was New 52, right? So that was the reason. They were like, his dad no longer exists in DC continuity, so Todd no longer exists in DC continuity. And I'm like, but DC, he's like one of your only gay superheroes. Like, it was very unfortunate for them to, because he was like one of the only ones at the time, like, that people knew, right? Like, I understand that if you don't read DC comics, Todd is not a character people are going to be like familiar with, because he was from like Infinity Inc. It's such, and that's a book that's never getting adapted. I'm blanking on his hero name though, and I do feel a little bit bad about that. But it's because it's Alan Scott's son, since he had 2 kids, that being Jade and Todd. And they're joining the Justice Society again, so that's nice. That's nice. Because when they brought back the old continuity with Infinite Frontier, they did give us Infinite Frontier issue 0, which was a anthology book where, like, yeah, it was like a double-sized, like 80-page book, like single issue for comic, and it just had a bunch of like 5-page stories, and one of them was like about Alan Scott and his kids, and that was like, oh my god, it was so nice to see them again, right? No, it's not Red Hood, that's a different Todd. This is Todd first name, not last name. I want to say his name was like Obsidian or something like that, because like his whole thing is like he has shadow powers and stuff. Oh, no worries, Michael, no worries. This is a character like that does not get adapted, so like he's not a character that people would know in the mainstream. Because one, he's a Justice Society character, right? And you know, he's also happens to be a bit of the gay, so DC probably didn't want to deal with that in adaptation, so he was just one of those weird characters that just always got left on the cutting room floor. You see him in the background of crowd shots on occasion. Like, that's about as much as you could hope for in adaptation, is like, will he be in the background? Like in crowd shots. Alright, see you, DME. Just as the background, right. So I'm curious what they're going to do with that. Just so it's like, oh, okay, like, because I think Jeff Johns' Justice Society run is ending in October. I think that's when they said it'll be ending. So I assume we'll be getting the new run by winter. I kind of forget the release date off the top of my head. Because I kind of didn't read it, and I was a little too like excited, like looking at the roster and going like, oh my god, look, they're back. They haven't been in an ongoing book in like 20 years. Which personally I just think was a bad look for DC at the time, just because it's like, really? One, like, I hold a really weird thing where, like, if the Justice Society doesn't exist in the DC universe, like, it just feels wrong. It just feels wrong. Like, that universe almost doesn't work for me, like, if that team doesn't exist. Yeah. Having a little bit of troubles. Just a little bit. Guess I could do it this way. Damn it. Yeah. Struggles. It do be that way. It hasn't changed. I mean, did I ever play Dislight? Nah. I don't like playing mobile games. They bore me. Like, it's weird. I just can't. They don't hold my attention. Like, even barring like the fact that I don't like gacha mechanics and things, like gacha games by themselves just do not hold my attention. Like, the most I'll do is play for like a week and then I'll forget that the game exists. So I just kind of don't interact with them that much. Just because, like, I don't... Let's do that. Like, I think the mobile game I've played the longest was like, I played Live a Hero on and off for like a year, and that's like the most I've ever interacted with a mobile game. And really, that was just because I, you know, I'm kind of easy, and you know, I looked at Barrel, and I was like, yes. So like anytime we would get a thing with new Barrel like outfits or things, I would play it, because I do be that way. But then again, I haven't like booted up that game in like multiple years, so it was definitely one of those, like, I played Live a Hero for its first year, basically, and that was it. And even then, it was not regular. Like, I would drop the game for like a month, come back to it, play it for a week, and forget about it, and it's just, that's me with mobile games. Like, I just forget. Those games want me to, like, those games want you to be on it all the time, and I don't like games that do that. I'm not about it. I want to come and go at my actual leisure and not feel like I have to be there. It's why I hate games with like dailies. It's what like kills MMOs for me, is they're like, no, you're going to sit there for like 5 months, like for your entire day, do your dailies and raids, and I'm like, no. Let me go. Leave me alone. It's kind of how I feel about it. Let's just try to bolden this shit up. Try to make his certain things feel thicker, you know? We like when things are a little bit thicker, you know? Okay, so let's try to... We're on the kind of annoying step, right? Where we have to smooth out all of the lines. Don't forget the tail details. I'm gonna forget them. Well, I'm purposefully not doing them. Like I just don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. That's so much work. I don't care. At least the line going down it. I'll think about it. Yeah, Okay. Gotta try to imply depth, right? Actually, let me... do this real quick so that I can see things a little better. There we go. That should help me. At least see that kind of stuff a little better. It was just a little too bright. Yeah, we'll... We'll go about it that way. Look, this way it'll draw a little more attention to his tummy. Just a little bit. Actually, that doesn't need to be there anymore. Who am I drawing? His name is Brock, the investigator. He's from Brock the Investigator. Here, let me look at his image again. How's this line supposed to work? Here, I'll... like that. Is that alright? Look how much chonk the line added. Oh my god. Let me... I should put that here. Oh, if I do that, I'll probably need a darker... Okay. He'll end up looking like a sticker, but that's fine. Come on. There we go. Okay. Whatever, we'll just fill this in. That's fine. There, what you guys think? Is this a cutie man? I think he looks pretty alright. Yeah, Xbox Arcade is dead. Damn. I never got to experience it. Oh well. Submit it? No. Alright, see ya, Alex. Pat his belly after he eats? Terrible. Terrible. Not during? Here, let me... Here we go. There, I'm like, I should probably save this image. That's probably a good idea. I had not saved that entire time, so there we go. We got there. We got there. But all right, everyone. I think that'll just about wrap it up. You know, that was what a 4-hour drawing that I had a head start on a bit. Like, damn. That's why I don't do shit like this on stream, like the full body shit. It's not a thing I want to do often. But I hope you guys enjoyed watching and that you enjoyed the drawing. But I'll see you guys around. Have a good night, everybody.